allow the new champion to ice up in a little bit, but we are going to open it to the floor for questions, but I'll kick off really quick. Ben, I'll start with you. First show, BBC, new broadcaster. I don't even really have a question, but how do you feel? Just your thoughts.
Well, what a night. Exhausted, to be honest, ever since the Scott Melvin fight that kicked it off, which was back and forth. I thought the Joel Kadua fight against Bobby Dalton was incredible, and Joel came through really well. Jack Massey had the back and forth 6-rounder, ended up coming out on top, and Fran Hennessy was just superb. I mean, there's not many females in the world that can box like that. I think it has a lot to do, perhaps not going with the amateur system, turning over young, 20 years old, and boxing like someone I've never seen in women's boxing. And then the main event, wow, back and forth. Frazier came out like a train, and Jeamie just took it in his stride, and boxed him on the inside and started to take over. Then Frazier came back in the 7th and then 8th, then was out on his feet in the 11th, and Jeamie nicked it, and I thought he was a deserved winner. I really do. I think it was an incredible story for both guys. I mean, Frazier, obviously, I'm not sure where he is now, but very, very disappointed for him, and he'll be absolutely gutted, but he lost to the better man tonight, and Jeamie was unbelievable. And all I can say is, for his team, you know, I debuted with Jeamie, and in fairness, he had to work for everything he got. Yeah. No one knew him, no one knew who he was. He probably didn't even think that maybe he would get here at times. And so to be a British-born Congolese man to win the British title, what a story that is. And in April, he felt like he won it, and he did win it. So he probably felt even then, would that chance ever come again? Would it ever come again? And he got it tonight. And credit to him, because he wasn't the favourite tonight. He was the away fighter. And as I say, he's had to absolutely work for everything he's got. And there's probably never been a more deserved British champion than tonight.
Jeamie's always had that underdog mentality, Ben. So now moving forward, I mean, now he's no longer the underdog. Now he's the British champion. Where do you foresee Jeamie going next, Ben?
Look, for the first time in his career, he can call the shots. He's had to be the away fighter twice, and he'd come through, and he won both fights. Let's be honest, he did. And credit to him. He had a loss early on in his career, which was a freak of nature, really. And again, you saw his mental strength, and he came back, and we brought him back, and he just started, and he went again. And delighted for the team, delighted for Barry, delighted for his management, who've stuck with him through thick and thin. I still remember sitting down with him in a restaurant not so long ago, and we all needed, and he needed convincing that, you know, this was really the place where he could get opportunities and would get to where he is now. And yeah, I cannot tell you how many things this man has gone through to get here. It's an incredible story in British boxing.
Jeamie, I'll come to you last. I'll save the best for last with Jeamie. So Coach Barry, obviously I've been fortunate enough to travel with TKV. We went to Poland. I've seen you all over. Did you come into with a mentality tonight that Jeamie was defending, or did you come into it with the standpoint of, did you maintain that underdog mentality in your head?
I just believed that we was going to win. I knew we was going to win. I knew, like, from the day I had the late fight, I knew we was going to win that fight. I know, but because you can't buy that. Yeah, and he's got a lot of that, yeah. And he's tough, he's gritty, he can dig deep. But no, I just came in with belief that we was going to win. We were not going to lose, and I had to convince Jeamie that, and he bought into it. And now look, he's got his rewards, the British title, you know. Unbelievable. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing for him, I am. You know. What's next, Ben? Bring him on, Ben. Let's bring him on, because we just want the fights now. Like we calling the shots.
Jeamie, first off, congratulations. New British heavyweight champion. I remember I went to a grade school with you a few weeks ago, or a few months ago, actually many months ago, where you talked to the youth and you talked about perseverance and chasing your goals and what it takes to get there, and now you are sitting with the Lonsdale belt. Yours, officially. TKV is etched in that now forever. How does it feel?
It feels amazing, man. There's no words that I could describe this feeling. It's an amazing feeling. I've worked hard to get here, and now we're here. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm over the moon.
Amazing. Well, you guys have heard me talk enough. I'll open it up. Questions for the new champ, his team, for Ben? We have a mic going around, I think, up in front maybe.
Jeamie, you're going to get a lot of questions about what's next, and I'm going to leave those to other people because I want to know about the fight that's just happened, because you see somebody take some of the shots that you had to take. The eye was closing and you kept going. You didn't stop. You took it all the way to the end. And I just want to get an insight into how does someone do that? How does a man push like you pushed, fight like you fought, and come home with that belt?
You got to be strong up there. I did a lot of work. Despite the training that we do, I do a lot of work here. I knew that this fight was going to be hard, and once it did start to get hard, I went back to my mentality. I went back to talking to myself that I can get through this, and when I did that, I got through the fight. So thank God I did the training up there and the training here. So yeah.
Great stuff, and congratulations again, Jeamie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben, for you, Frazier Clarke, been in some really tough fights, obviously the two Wardley fights, TKV tonight as well. Do you think, obviously let the dust settle with what happens with Frazier, but do you think he'll come back the same fighter?
Look, I know he'll feel like he probably got his game plan wrong tonight, but he'll know that he lost to the better man. It was a big fight for him. It was a split decision, but he has to take stock and he has to come again and he has to improve. Luckily, in this heavyweight division, you do get opportunities. He is a fan favourite. He does fill arenas, and so he will come again. But this will be tough for him, and he'll have to do some soul searching and with the team in particular. And yeah, I feel for him right now, and yeah, hopefully he's well, he's safe. I've seen him after now. I think he was out on his feet in the 11th, and he managed to survive. He's one tough man, and yeah, he'll be back, and with a lot of learnings.
Jeamie, Finlay Sturgis for Boxing Now.
Yeah.
You mentioned that Frazier Clarke was a red carpet fighter. He was given a lot during his career. When you had that point deducted, were you worried that that was almost the fight done and you had to put even more in to take a points victory?
Of course, I was concerned that a point got taken off. You know, that point getting taken off can be a big difference on the card. So I knew that would have been a problem. So I had to dig a bit deeper just to pick up the later rounds. You know, so yeah, I was concerned when that point got taken off. Yeah.
Question for Ben. Frazier's jaw, people remarked that his jaw looked to be in a bad way. There was blood gushing from it.
Yeah.
Is Frazier all right, Ben?
He is. I just went and seen him. Look, he certainly didn't look okay in that 11th, and there were times in the fight where, yeah, I was concerned. But that's credit to JB as well, you know, and credit to Frazier for sticking it out there. That 8th and 9th, I do think he came back into it, and it was back and forth, but it was a slugfest, and this is heavyweight boxing. You're in there and you can get hurt, and it's a dangerous sport. But what I will say is he's fit, he's healthy, he's well. I've been to see him. He's obviously absolutely disappointed, and that's boxing. You got the bitterness of what Frazier Clarke's feeling right now, and the absolute elation for Jeamie TKV.
I also want to add what I said at the end was a bit distasteful. I do want to apologise to Frazier and his team. It was a little bit distasteful, so I just wanted to put that there.
I'm glad. Am I on? I'm glad you mentioned that actually, because I was going to touch on that. Is that something you've left in there for a rematch? With clearly there's no love lost.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, rematch is always. We can always have a rematch. You know, it depends if the
Full sanctioning.
it depends if the fans want it too, the promoter wants it. So let's see.
Couple more, so we can let Jeamie get out of here and celebrate his win. All right. Oh, there we go.
Jeamie, we spoke in detail about your family history. It's a fascinating family history. Just sum up what this means to your mum, your dad, and everyone in the TKV household.
Oh, it's a special moment, man. We're going to go home and celebrate. It's going to be a great Christmas, man. It's going to be a great Christmas, yeah, man. We're ending the year great, and we're going to start 2026 even better. So, yeah, amazing feeling.
All right, everybody, we're going to let the new champ go home and ice up. Thank you guys so much. I think we're going to get Francesca Hennessy up here for a couple questions, but Jeamie, gotcha.